welcome in to Extreme Talk, presented by Cornett Performance, talking about Eli Cornett, former 8-man football player, former college football player. Cornett Performance offers one-on-one and group training, speed and agility training, and it's football and track focused. Each athlete or client will have their own personal customized program. It's for ages 10 and up, and they do offer online training sessions. I'll give you the contact info here in a second, but you can book your free in-person or 30-minute online 30-minute assessment today. They do 45, 60-minute sessions, $30 per session or per athlete. You can shoot them a DM on Instagram at Cornett Performance, or you can hit them up on email. Shoot them an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com. Again, that's Cornett, C-O-R-N-E-T-T, Cornett Performance on Instagram and through email. So big shout out to Cornett Performance, Eli Cornett, for being sponsors of the show. Joining me now, let me bring on my co-host. He is a former All-American. He is a former 4-year starter, and he is a man of his word. Mr. Blake Biggs.
James, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Now that I mentioned that you're a man of your word, it's time to prove to the folks that you are a man of your word. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching the video version of the show, if you're listening, you'll still be able to hear it, but if you're watching the video version, here is proof that Blake Biggs is a man of his word.
What's up, y'all? It's a beautiful fall day here in Alcorn County, Mississippi. I lost a bet, and I'm a man of my word.
Okay, I got it. Here we go.
What's up, y'all? It's a beautiful fall day here in Alcorn County, Mississippi. I lost a bet, and I'm a man of my word. So I drove all the way up here to sing Rocky Top. James, you were right. I was wrong. State lost the ball game. So one take, here we go. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Hail State.
Blake, I venture to guess you were a better defensive end than you were
a singer.
There's a reason you weren't in Glee Club. You were a football player.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. Also wasn't the happiest that day. I took a test and I didn't just feel the greatest about it, and I had to sing that godforsaken song.
But he is a man of his word.
I am. And me and James made a bet. Mississippi State lost the football game to the Tennessee Volunteers, and I followed through on my word. And
there we go.
Now your ears have forever been cursed. I apologize to anybody who's listening.
You know what I think we need to do, Blake?
Well, James, if it's outside of suing you for defamation of character,
I said you're a man of your word. I said you're a man of your word.
No. For playing that video on the show, that's defamation of character.
Oh well,
I'm just messing with you.
I've never been one to just make a mistake. I make it twice. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Blake Biggs.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, y'all? It's a beautiful fall day here in Alcorn County, Mississippi. I lost a bet, and I'm a man of my word. So I drove all the way up here to sing Rocky Top. James, you were right. I was wrong. State lost the ball game. So one take, here we go. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Hail State.
All right, that's enough.
James, you reminded me why Tennessee has one of the worst fan bases in the SEC. Really, really rubbing it in right there.
We have gone through the ring. I didn't even bring up yesterday. We have been through the ringer as
Yeah.
Tennessee
No, I
fans.
know.
We've been through this. How bad Tennessee
Tennessee's
fandom
had
has
it. Yeah.
been the
Hmm.
last couple. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
the wins. I'm soaking it all in. Love it.
And hey, y'all deserve it. Who did Tennessee play this week? Just curious. I haven't watched much.
Well, we had a bye.
Oh well, I think State had a bye too because we didn't show up to play at A&M. Um,
You're not
yeah.
wrong.
So yeah,
Oh
we just
goodness.
lost. One of the best running backs in the SEC on a stupid swing pass down three scores. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, let's not talk
Yeah.
about it. Matter of fact, let's actually
Yeah.
talk about some eight-man football. And I usually forget to do
There we
this.
go.
I usually forget to do this until the end of the show, and I'm like rushing through trying to pump it in real quick. I do want to go through real quick. First off, big shout out to Fairlife Core Power Protein. Um, been a sponsor with us for years and a partner with us to recognize young men, whether it be I think originally it was player of the game, and then it kind of developed into player of the week, um, offensive and defensive player of the week. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to the young men who won it last week. Jess Nelson from Cornerstone Christian, there in Rainsville, Cornerstone Christian School. Um, Jess had they were playing Tuscaloosa Christian, and I think it was one of my games of the week. Like I recapped it as one of my games of the week. Um, but Jess had 16 carries, 237 yards, 5 touchdowns, went 5 for 5 on extra points, and then capped off the 37 points he scored with a 2-point conversion attempt. So absolute great showing for the young man. And then the defensive player of the week, Noah Lopez from Prairie View Academy, getting a big win against Briarfield Academy. Noah ended up having 11 tackles, 11 solo tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. And Prairie View came up big in that one, 49-44. So shout out to both of those young men. They will get their Fairlife Core Power package is a Fairlife Core Power. It's a case of each of the 3 flavors and a commemorative T-shirt. Working on getting that out the door. Dealing with some scheduling issues and trying to figure out the best way to get it shipped. Because right now I don't know if anybody's trying to ship anything. It's crazy out there. It is absolutely nuts to try to ship stuff. So Blake will be back on here in a second, and later on in the show we'll have Coach Elton Pope. He's from Faithful Explorers Academic Learning Center Warriors, or Faithful Explorers. It's kind of what we're calling them, Faithful Explorer. I feel like it could have been the Explorers. That could have been their mascot. But anyways, so Coach Pope will be on the show with us later on. We're shooting for 3:30. Might be a little later. He's at a ball game right now, at the Saints game, so it's kind of what we're shooting for. But right now, of course, we announced on the show last week that we're going to change up the format a little bit of how we talk about the games of the week. We're going to give our top 5, and so I'll go ahead and start. Give Blake a chance to get settled in, and I want to give a big shout out to all the folks who are doing the scoring on Max Preps, the live updates. Huge shout out to y'all, because that makes it to where we can see who scored player wise, how the scoring breaks down by quarter. Like, y'all are awesome, and there's several people doing it, and really, really cool thing that everybody's doing when they're able to do it. Matter of fact, my top 5 from last week, I pulled the recap from the scoring updates that folks did on that. So a big shout out to them for that. My first game of the week is going to be Westminster Schools of Augusta at the versus the Pack Panthers. I think it was Pack at Westminster. Westminster gets the win, 14-12. But Abe Daniel had both of the Westminster Schools of Augusta touchdowns. Ryan Bodine had both the extra points, which were the difference makers in that game. Pack got the 2-point conversion on the first touchdown. did not get the 2-point conversion on the second touchdown. And there he is. He's back.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was running through my first game of the week, and also
Oh,
giving a
okay.
big
That's
shout out.
perfect.
Also gave a big shout out to the everybody who's doing the live scoring updates on Max Preps. I don't know, Blake, if you were able to rely on it at all, but all 5 of my games of the week from last week, I pretty much used it and kind of built the story about the game from the live scoring updates. So big shout out to
Nice.
everyone who did it. But my first one is Westminster Schools of Augusta and Pack Panthers. Westminster got the 14-12 win. Abe Daniel had both rushing touchdowns for the Wildcats. Ryan Bodine had both extra points, which ended up being the difference maker. All the touchdowns, Blake, were scored in the first half. There was no scoring in the second half. Defense showed up big. Westminster forced a turnover on downs inside their 10 in the third quarter. Pack on the next drive. Westminster on the next drive fumbled inside the 10, and Pack recovered it. I mean, it was just defensive battle back and forth there in the fourth quarter. And Westminster comes away with the win in that one. And Pack loses their third of the season, but just an absolute defensive battle. Been seeing a lot of those out of the SIFA recently
Yeah.
in the last couple of years. But that's my first game of the week, Westminster and Pack.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So for mine, I've got to go. This one's kind of gonna be a shocker being this low, but Faith at JP2.
Yep.
This one was kind of a little bit controversial because, and I myself thought it was a little bit controversial at Faith. You know, I mean, they hardly beat a four. I wouldn't say hardly. They beat them by like 14. Beat a 2-win team, and then they dropped from 13 to unranked. And I forgot who it was last time. I think it was Westwood that just made like a dramatic drop, James, in the formula,
I think it
and
was.
that kind of got me questioning some things. And I was just like, you know what, like we're gonna roll with it. And if the formula says it, the formula says it. And once again, the formula was right. Faith loses in an incredible game too. GP2 is down 26-19 in the third, and they explode for 28 in the fourth. Correct me if I say this wrong. Kryshawn Williams,
It might be
5
Krishan.
scores.
It's either Kryshawn or
Krishan, yeah.
Krishan. Either way.
Yeah, Kryshawn.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams,
Mr. Williams.
5 on the ground.
With
Yeah,
with the numbers he put up, I think we could say Mr. Williams.
yeah, Mr. Williams. Yep,
I
sir.
think he deserves.
Yeah, because that's a grown man performance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
JP, that was actually one of my games of the week too. JP2 scored 28 in the fourth quarter. And then I don't know if you saw, but James Carmack in that one, 22 tackles, 9 solo, a pick and a fumble recovery. And then Ryan Wright had 10 tackles, all solo, and 2 picks for JP2. So just it all started clicking there in the fourth quarter is what it looks like.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they get the job done. I mean, that's what they had to do.
And you said that was your second game?
Yeah, that was actually one of my games of the week. Yeah.
Oh crap! Sorry, I didn't mean to
rank
steal
him.
that.
I didn't rank him. No, you're good. I didn't rank him.
Okay,
So that being said,
that's fine.
let's see. It was both of ours. So you give your next one because that's pretty much 2 of
Okay,
mine so far.
okay. This one's kind of like okay, like this is people wouldn't think this would be a top game, but Evangel Montgomery at Cornerstone.
Yep.
Kind of some questions. I'm somebody I understand the rankings because I made the system, I made the formula. Um, a lot of questions coming about, Cornerstone and just the opponents they played, leading up to this point, kind of led to their, questions about, oh, they haven't proved anything, so why are they so high? And they start dropping because they start getting leapfrogged. Um, they get their first quality win on the year, being the 4-2 Evangel Montgomery team, who's people tend to forget 4 years ago they were in the conference championship for
Yeah.
CFA. and like
Well,
they're. I mean,
they were in
shoot,
the
dude, they're
they were in the AISA championship game too.
yeah. I think their only two losses have came from Macon East and Escambia. So
Yep.
like not bad losses. No. Macon and Trinity.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
which like okay, Trinity has been like people are like okay, they're not good. 2-4. They're not a bad 2-14
No.
at all. Like they're a really good 2-win team.
They gave
I'd say the
Cornerstone. They
best.
gave Cornerstone all they could handle.
Yeah, yeah. So Cornerstone proved, um, kind of proved they're still hanging around. And we'll see how that affects the top 25 next week.
My second, or actually, I guess it would be my third game of the week. I'm gonna go down to Florida, and I'm gonna do All Saints Academy and Lake Mary Prep. Now, when
Mm,
you look at the records, it doesn't look. It looks like this would be a blowout, but Blake,
yeah,
we were watching it Friday night, and just saying how is it close? It shouldn't be that close.
yeah.
But it was just back and forth. Like Mary would go ahead, All Saints would tie it. All Saints would go ahead, like Mary would tie it. So it was actually tied at 22 with 30 seconds left. Lake Mary Prep scored and did not get the 2 point. Or the extra. No, they got the extra point. Um,
hmm
I put the wrong score in there. It was 20. It was 30-28. I cannot believe I put the wrong score in. Okay, so they got the touchdown, did not get the 2 points. So it was 28-22. So Max Preps, the way they do the live scoring is like you put like about 30 seconds, so less than 30 seconds. Pretty much last play of the. Actually, I think it was the last play of the game. And All
Yeah.
Saints throws, and with the video, I think the video we put on our story, I know All Saints uploaded it, but All Saints gets a 75-yard walk-off touchdown pass to tie it, and then got the 2 point with zeros on the clock to win it, and pulls out the dub in this one. Just an
Mm,
incredible back and forth game between these two schools in Florida, and shout out to Lake Mary Prep. I mean, they came in and with nothing to lose and just threw the
yeah.
kitchen sink at All Saints. And I mean, All
hmm
Saints came away with the win, but man, they had to fight and claw for that one. So
Didn't you say it was a 75-yard last touchdown pass, like in the
yeah,
waning seconds? Yeah.
75-yard walk off. It was the last play of the
Yeah.
game. They tied it
Wow.
and then got the 2 point with zeros on the clock.
Gosh, man. I
So
mean,
big
I mean,
shout out.
skin of their teeth.
Yeah, so shout out to those two down in Florida. That's my
hmm
third. That's my third game of the week from last week.
Yeah, yeah. So my next one, I'm gonna go number two, Humphreys, traveling down to Briarfield.
Yep.
Um, Humphreys at this point in the season, I think the lowest they'd put up was 40 on a team. And they go down to Briarfield. Briarfield coming off, an OT loss to Prairie View. Briarfield at this point, they play River Oaks, Prairie View, and they could not win to go in that get inside the top 25, which I feel like could happen this week with this win.
Right.
And they dominate Humphreys at home 28-8 in favor of Briarfield. I mean, this wasn't an upset. This was more of a we're proving you fraudulent kind of thing. And I'm not saying Humphreys is bad at all, but shoot, like
Yeah, but this was a Briarfield
yeah.
team that was due for a big win.
Yeah, they were due.
And
They
this
were
is
100% due.
and I don't think Humphreys is I don't think they were a fraud. I mean, they
No.
ended DeSoto's win streak.
hmm
You know, they did some
Right.
big things, but this was a Briarfield team that was really really due for a big win like this.
Well, I feel like they were mad.
Yeah.
Or probably mad, yeah.
So,
Anyway.
there you go. That was a huge upset. One of the two top 10 losses we had, Pack being the other one. Pack at number 7 last week on the
Yeah.
rankings. My fourth game of the week is actually it's also an AISA game, but it's Snook and Southern Prep, and you could watch this one on I think it's called Southern Prep Events or something like that on YouTube. They
hmm
have a broadcast, and I love watching it. Had it for a couple of years now, but Snook actually put up 18 in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then Southern Prep's defense stepped up, didn't let Snook score again until the fourth quarter. Southern Prep clawed back into the game, took the lead in the third quarter, 22 to 20, and then Snook in the fourth quarter got the touchdown, got the 2 point, and then just grounded out. Actually, it was 26-22 was the final, but just ground out the fourth quarter. Really clamped down on Southern Prep's offense and
Yeah.
handled business there. So big win. Snook now 3 wins. Their first year in 8-man. This has been a very successful year for AISA. Not very successful. Let me back up. Escambia is having a good season. They're unbeaten. You've got Snook now with 3 wins. So some of these, the system is working with what AISA is doing of saying, hey, we're going to create an 8-man division, and if you're struggling with 11, whether it be numbers or whatever, go to 8 and rebuild your program, and it's successful so far.
Yeah.
In AISA. So big shout out to I'm very supportive of AISA and very complimentary of of the job they've done. But yeah, big win for Snook there, 26-22 over Southern Prep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so for my second game, I've got to go Cornett or Subiaco. I got to correct myself there.
Yeah, that's if you're listening,
Mhm.
you know the pronunciation, whether or not, because like the town in Australia we saw was Subiaco, and the broadcast of this game said Subiaco. We've always called it Subiaco. And you know
Yeah.
what? I think we said Subiaco last week and we didn't get corrected. So I don't know. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, this one flew extremely under the radar, and that's my fault for it because I've not been keeping up with AAA club like I should. But both teams 6-0 on the year, and I think I'm with certainty this was one of those like, okay, you win and you're in the top 25 kind of deals.
Yeah.
And like 99% certain, winning they're in. Corning, the big win. They edge out Subiaco, and more than likely on Monday morning they'll be ranked.
You'll have to see. By the way, again, we are just recapping some of our favorite games from last week. But the full scoreboard is in the link in our bio on Facebook, X, and Instagram. So if you go to the link in the bio, click it. It'll be a link tree. It'll have the scoreboard from last week. It'll have the scoreboard from this week. The full rankings will be on there, an explanation of the rankings, and then links to
the bylaws.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all the all of our channels, 8-Man Extreme Tennessee, 8-Man Extreme Georgia, Alabama. By the way, Alabama, shout out. They're over 200 subscribers now on 8-Man Extreme Alabama. So you got Southern Christian, East Central, and Trinity Christian Homeschool streaming to those channels. Pine Belt Spartans are streaming to 8-Man Extreme Mississippi. Real Life Christian is they're not live yet, but they're uploading their games to 8-Man Extreme Florida. And then on 8-Man Extreme Georgia, the Augusta Eagles are broadcasting their games to that channel. And this is a game that you could watch on Friday night. Augusta Eagles and Holy Spirit Prep. Eagles on the road in Atlanta. And the game was supposed to start at 4. Didn't start till 5 because the officials got there late, which you already knew was going to cause problems. But Augusta jumped out to a 21-0 lead. And then from there it was just back and forth, until Holy Spirit actually took a 43-42 lead in the fourth quarter. The next drive, Nathaniel Reese has a 79-yard touchdown run. They started the drive on the 1. Holy Spirit punted, and Augusta started the drive on the 1, and then it's an 80-yard field. So a 79-yard touchdown run for Nathaniel Reese. And then the next drive, and it's getting dark, like the last couple plays of the game, you can't see it. It's the John Cena game. You can't see it. But so Augusta scores. They get the 2-point, and then Holy Spirit drives, and they end up scoring. but Augusta stops them at the very end from getting the 2 point, and then game's over. So Augusta Eagles hang on to get the 50-49 win against Holy Spirit Prep, and again, kind of like the All Saints Lake Mary Prep, you wouldn't think a game with these records. I don't think Holy Spirit had won a game yet. I mean, they came pretty
Yeah.
darn close to
Yeah.
getting their first win. So you wouldn't think the game would go that way, but Augusta pulls out the win, and like I said, you can go watch that one on 8-Man Extreme Georgia.
Yeah, James, that was actually my number one game too.
Was it?
But
Oh, wow.
I want to make a few comments on,
Yeah, go
on
for
that
it.
one since we're talking about it. So, like you said, it was 21-0. They whittle it down to 15, being down 15 at the half. And they storm back in the fourth. Again, last play of the game, like you cannot see. They got truck lights, they got people holding up flashlights, like you cannot
But the
see.
screen, like the
Um,
camera couldn't even see.
no,
It
you
was
can't
just
even see
dark.
except the white of their helmet.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you could see. I'm trying to think. Literal darkness. Last play of the game, Holy Spirit scores, and people are holding up flashlights, trying to get some light on the field. And the 2 point just it falls short. Like you can't even see what happens, unfortunately. But kudos to Holy Spirit. They're I hate that they're winless. I hate that they didn't win this game, but you know what? They've got a lot of character and they've got a lot of it takes heart to go out in a game like that and lose,
Exactly.
especially with being, 0-8. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's a more honorable way of going winless. I mean, they still got another game or two, which I think they will win.
Yeah.
Um, but
They have let's see, who do they have coming up?
I think it's John Hancock, somebody else,
I
just
think
off the
it
top of my head.
is.
But
Sorry, go
anyway,
ahead. I'm gonna look for this
yeah,
real fast.
yeah, that's a way better way of losing than a forfeit.
For sure.
And Holy Spirit has not forfeited a single game this
Yes.
year. And their ranking reflects that. Yes, they're in the bottom half of the rankings, but they're not the bottom. They haven't quit. They haven't,
They're showing
if
up.
you're gonna lose, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And to the Holy Spirit people who may or may not be listening to this right now, keep moving. I promise you, it's gonna get better.
It's coming
Keep
from
moving.
Blake
It's
Biggs,
coming.
who has been on some bad teams.
I don't know about that. I never was on a winless team, buddy.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So
I want to give a couple honorable mentions I didn't put in my top 5. I do want to give a shout out though to Tuscaloosa Christian and American Sports Prep for getting their first wins of the season Friday night. Winless no more for both of those teams, and then I'm double checking to see if there's anybody else who got their first win. I think that's it, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Also want to give a shout out to from the MAIS, Benton Academy and Deer Creek. It wasn't as close of a game, that's why I didn't want to put it in my top 5. But make sure that's all there. Yeah. But Benton Academy and Deer Creek went to Benton with a 5-1 record, and Benton had a 4-2. Or I'm sorry, 3-3. It was 3-3 versus 5-1, and Benton got it done 60-30. So shout out to Benton for showing up and showing out in that one. But couple fun ones there. Like I said, congratulations to Tuscaloosa Christian and American Sports Prep, both getting their first wins of the season Friday night. So we had 2 games that were the same, I think, Blake. The Augusta.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Augusta and JP2.
Faith.
Yeah, JP2 and Faith.
Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all enjoy the scoreboard. I really like the top 25 tab. Uh, gives you
That's pretty sick.
it's pretty sweet.
Mhm.
It's pretty
You should
sweet.
go check it out.
That's the link in our bio. I would say one that almost made my top 5 would be Academy at the Lakes in Bradenton.
Yes.
Almost made my top 5, but I was like,
I thought that would make your top five,
I
honestly.
thought about it, but it was close.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think. Let me see. I don't think it got the score updated. I don't think they were doing the score reporting on it. Let me see. Oh, hey, Florida School for the Deaf. We got a 52-12 over Alabama School for the Deaf. We hadn't seen a final score for that one yet. Yeah, Academy at the Lakes in Bradenton. Yeah, there was no score tracking, so couldn't really do much with the updates. But yeah, that was one that was it's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one there.
Yeah.
So
hmm
so while we're waiting on Coach Pope from Faithful Explorers, still working on getting out of, I assume still working on getting out of the stadium, getting to his car. He was at the Saints game. Saints came away with the win, so that might be even harder for him to get to his vehicle the
Yeah.
way that they celebrate down there. Let's jump into our top 5 for the upcoming week.
For next week, okay.
Yeah, for next week. Let's roll through for week 9. There's some massive games coming up next week. So Blake, why don't you start us with your first top 5 game next week?
Yeah, okay. So I'll go ahead and this one right here, Woodlawn at Hermitage. Some AAA action. So my notes I have both teams have 4 wins. Both really good offenses. Woodlawn, who's 4-0, have scored 66 and 58 in 2 of the 4 games they played. And Hermitage, they played 6, dropped 2, won 4. They've scored 72 and 68. Woodlawn's averaging 52 points per game, and Hermitage is 44 points per game. And both defenses are, averaging, 28 roughly on defense. If you like shootouts, if you like Big 12 style games, get on the road in Arkansas and go watch that game.
Yeah, that's the game for you right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of my top 5 for. I'm trying to make sure that's ready. Let's see. One of my top 5 for next week. I'm actually going to start off with a really under the radar game. Maybe no one ever in their right mind would pick it except for me. But I'm going to go with Hebron Christian versus Heritage Christian in the
Okay.
MAIS. These are 2 winless teams, still looking for the first win. It's a first-time matchup. They've never played each other.
Yeah.
Hebron has a 14-game losing streak dating back to last season. And then Heritage has a 7-game losing streak dating back to last year. But that was against a Mid-South Christian Football League opponent. Heritage has never beaten an MAIS opponent.
Well, I think it's their first year in it, if I'm not mistaken, James.
Let me see. You might be right. I could have sworn when I looked it up though that they had been in it. Let me see. But yeah, just it seems like an even matchup. Both teams. Here's what I like about a game like this: both teams have nothing to lose.
Except the game.
Except the game, and they've
Yeah.
already lost a bunch of them. So what's that gonna hurt? It's just it
Yeah.
doesn't really play into anything.
I guess that's one way to put it, James.
See, Heritage.
Yeah.
Maybe last year you're right because they played Discovery and Christ Covenant and Hillcrest. So maybe they weren't in MAIS last year. Let me check 2023. Yeah, okay. So that might be. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean Heritage. Hebron. I might be backwards on this one. Hold on a second. Watch me have gotten my stats wrong. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then that is 7. Okay. So Heritage does have a 7 game losing streak. Hebron has a 14-game losing streak. And really, their wins were against like Northeast Baptist.
Yeah, he does not have a team anymore.
Yeah. So, and then again, obviously Heritage, they haven't beaten an MAIS opponent. So, just a couple layers to this game. Of course, you got.
Hmm.
I don't think Coach Schofstall is still at Heritage. I know Coach Carr is over at Hebron. So a couple different
Somebody's
layers.
going to get their first win.
Yeah,
James.
somebody's going to get this first win.
Yeah.
All the work that these young men have put in the season. You know, the flip side of that I hate though, somebody's gonna lose another game. So I do hate that.
Yeah.
But I choose to celebrate that somebody's going to get their first win. So it's a love-hate situation, but I don't know. Just kind of an interesting game to me. I think it's one of the top games of next week, one of the top storylines of next week.
It's one of those, like, you love to see it, but you hate to have it happen
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So, anyways, it's one of my top 5 games of next week. Might not.
James, you really like your winless teams, man.
Listen. I love a Cinderella story, an underdog story. It might not be one of the premier unbeaten versus unbeaten matchups, but it seems like, listen, I'm a sucker for a good matchup,
Mm-hmm.
a good, 2 equal opponents. This seems like this will be that kind of game.
Honestly, it's probably better than Thursday Night Football.
Low key, you might be right, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's my first game. What do you got?
Anywho, sorry, James, I'm just cleaning up around here a little bit. I'm pulling up my notes app right now.
No,
Let's see. So, my fourth, I got Westminster at Westminster.
Yep.
Battle of the Westminsters. This one's pretty close. But even more important, right? So here's my analysis of this game. Okay. Westminster Christian beat Augusta. Whereas Westminster Augusta beat Pack. Meaning, whoever wins this game, the loser of the respective winner will win the CIFA. Call me crazy.
SIFA.
SIFA, sorry.
Right.
Call me crazy. I might be superstitious. I think it's going to happen.
So you think the winner is going to be the SIFA's daddy?
Perchance. I'm not saying that. You said it.
I do still. By the way, I do still owe them a
water dunk.
Yeah, water dunk. Yeah. I do owe them that, but that's fair. That's fair. I had picked that game as well. As one of mine. They're both in Region 1 and GIAA. Westminster Schools of Augusta has won all 3 times they played the last 3 years. And then, of course, they have a common loss to GSIC.
Yeah.
So, outside, if GSIC didn't exist, both these teams would be unbeaten. But here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So, yeah, I agree. That's one of my top 5 games in next week.
Yeah, but that's a crazy way of looking at it, ain't it, James?
It really is.
The loser or the respective winner will win their conference.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, what do you got for your third?
Okay. Let's see. So my third, this one's kind of, I know, last week I was wrong about this one. And it's like, Blake, why are we putting the same team twice after that same team got blown out? But you know what? CCS at Jacksonville looks a lot more promising. Both teams unranked. Now, we'll say, Noli was hurt last week. Came out in the booth on Friday. However, CCS is coming off, 4 games, 3 losses.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's had their fair share of skid games too.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
I'm good. I already tried it once. It didn't work well. Anyway, Um, yeah. Both don't really stick out on paper, honestly, but looks like CCS's offense and their defense, or Jacksonville's defense, are pretty even on that side of the ball. So it could be a little stalwart there. I would not be surprised if, this is treated as a rehab game for Noah Lee, and he just gets to, he gets a few reps in, comes out. I think it'll be fairly matched, but I also would not be surprised he comes back fully healthy and just lets it sling,
Yeah.
all over his CCS defense, who's, not been just fantastic. They're 40th right now in our rankings for defense. And I'm trying to think, CCS offense, I mean, they rank 111th in our rankings based off last week's results. And this is for, the entire South in the eight man scene.
Yeah.
I mean, they got held to 0 by Zion. This could be one of those like Jacksonville bounce back games. It could be a CCS bounce back game. It could be a blowout. It could be a shootout. It could be a shutout. It's one of those where it's like, we don't know. It's undiagnosed. So,
No, for sure. You bring up CCS. I'm gonna stay here in the SEC, the Southeastern Extreme Conference. Tennessee Tigers and Freedom Cowboys. Tigers 5-2, Freedom 6-2. It's they're playing for first place in the South Division.
mm,
Um, and here's the interesting thing: both with 2 losses, Freedom has lost to 2 teams that are in the top 25 right now. They lost to
yeah,
South
hmm
Haven and they lost to Southern Christian. The
yeah,
Tigers' two
not bad.
losses, right? The Tigers' 2 losses were to the Augusta Eagles and Christian Community, who are both not ranked.
Yeah,
So now, granted, Freedom is down a guy, and they're trying to figure. They earlier this year they were kind of trying to figure that out. I think it looks like they figured it out. Obviously, whooping up on Lighthouse Friday night, but
yeah, hmm
this is a big one in Seek.
yeah,
Like I said, winner has the number 1 seed, first round bye. Um, the semifinal game will be at their place, and the loser will be the second place. They'll still have a home game, but they'll have to play first round. They'll have to play the Tennessee Heat first round. So this will be a big one. This is a big one in Seek.
yeah. And also thought I should mention this. If Freedom lost pretty bad to South Haven, who's number 10, right?
Yeah.
And then, they turn around and give Southern Christian a fight. Um, if they catch that ball, yeah, and I'm not trying to bring up the young man's failures at all. Um, but if they caught that ball, they'd be in the top 20 right now.
Well, and the thing with the
Um,
South Haven, that's what I was saying is
yeah,
Freedom. The first part of the year, honestly, I think if they play the Heat again, like
hmm
this week, they blow the brakes off the Heat because they
exactly.
now have figured out their team and their setup uh,
Yeah,
without easily their best player. Um,
yeah. And James,
so
kind of to your, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think they've gotten it rolling now. They're dangerous
hmm
right now.
Yeah, and this we could look back and Freedom could win this game, and that could be their marquee win,
Yeah.
for the year, and say, okay, this is really where we got the ball rolling. And if they make a deep playoff run and possibly upset South Haven, I mean, that game's the starting point
Yeah.
for the whole thing. So,
Well, if they, so the only way they'd play South Haven, it's is actually if they win this game, the only way they
mhm,
play South Haven is in the championship. Now, if they
that's what I'm
lose,
saying.
well, but if
If
they
they get hot, yeah,
right. I mean, if they lose, they could still play South Haven as the number 2 seed. South Haven being the number 1 seed in the
right,
North.
yeah.
So it could still happen a couple different ways. But yeah, that's a big one. So what do you got?
Let's see here. All right, so from my number 2, this one's kind of hot. Um, especially in the Instagram section and the Facebook section of our rankings. It never fails every week. somebody from Atmore, Alabama is like, "Oh, why is the Scambia Academy so low?" And it's mainly because we didn't know a lot about them,
Right.
and they've worked their way up. Um, they're a solid team. Like I'm not gonna spin it one way or another, but on paper, Cornerstone at Escambia, Cornerstone ranked 18th last week. At Escambia, who was on the freeze. This is most likely a ranked matchup.
Yeah.
This is the first real test for Escambia. Um, and for Cornerstone, this is the biggest test so far that they've had to play. Um, Escambia, 53rd or 53 points per game. That's sixth best in the country. I say the country, our country, the South.
The
The
South.
South is the
Yeah. Yeah.
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. Now that we've defined that, 11 points per game on defense, which is best for ninth in the country. Whereas Cornerstone with 45 on offense, which is 20th, and 21 and a half on defense, which is good for 61st. Look, the numbers say Escambia's elite. Now's your chance to prove it.
Yep.
All right. Now's your chance to prove it, Mr. Atmore. You got the reigning two-time state, champs of Alabama
Yeah.
coming up. Prove it. Now's your shot.
Yeah. Their average score, yeah, like you said, 53-11. Cornerstones is 45-21. So they're outscoring and allowing fewer points,
Yeah.
and that's with
But
a tougher schedule.
mhm, with a
So
tougher schedule, but nobody's Cornerstone. Nobody they played is Cornerstone either.
no,
So,
no.
you know, now's
Uh,
your shot.
yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I didn't even think about looking at that, like in terms of like Westminster,
Hmm
the Westminster matchup. Hang on, I want to look at something real fast. Let me filter this real quick. Pull up just the GIAA teams. Okay. So Westminster Christian average score 36-8. Westminster Schools of Augusta. No, Westminster Schools of Augusta average score 36-8. Westminster Christian average score 34-12. So super super similar scores
Yeah.
here. If I had to pick a score, I would say like 36-12.
Mm.
Or maybe not. Maybe like 26-24 or something like that. Yeah,
Who knows?
I didn't even think about looking at that. But yeah, Cornerstone. Actually, Cornerstone and Escambia is one of my. No, no. I was looking at that wrong. Um, so I guess it'd be fourth game. Um, honestly, I gotta stay in Mississippi, and this might not be the one that you thought I would pick, Blake. Um, but I'm gonna go with Deer Creek and Briarfield.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
a great one.
both 5-2. Briarfield coming off knocking Humphreys off. Their losses, they've only lost by a total of 6 points, I think. I think it's six.
Yeah.
No, maybe nine.
hmm
9. Um, Deer Creek on a little bit of a skid, but I mean this is a big one. Deer Creek and
Yeah.
Briarfield, both 5-2, just kind of duking it out to try and get a good spot. Try to get the most power points they can, get a good spot in the playoffs. So I think this one, and then if you look at, I'm going to pull up just out of kicks and giggles. I'm gonna pull up the stats for this one real fast. Under the MAIS. Let's see if I can find them. All right, so Deer Creek. Deer Creek's average score is 35-24. Briarfield's is 43-16. So Briarfield may pull this one off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I still think this'll. I think this will be a good one.
Yeah. I
I think
mean,
that's a good one.
counterpoint. Yeah. I mean, counter to that, I would say, you know, maybe Deer Creek catches them off a high,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And Deer Creek's, Briarfield could be ranked, they could be not. Coming into next week. Granted, I don't know if they care about that or not. They should.
Be cool if they did.
It'd be cool if they did, yeah. But both teams realize, hey, this is a big game for us. Briarfield, they shut down the number 2 team in the nation. Um, but I mean, like, you can't have that every week. You
Right.
can't ask your defense for that kind of performance every week. It's just the nature of football. Who
Exactly.
knows? Pretty close game.
Well, there you go. Well,
You
Blake,
want my
what's your
number one, James?
go for it?
I feel like this one's pretty obvious. I already know what it is. I just got to pull up my notes app. No, I don't want to. Why is this not technical difficulties? Okay, here we go. All right. So, Prairie View at River Oaks. This one's gonna be a
Yep. Yep.
this one's gonna be a very hot, very emotional game. I'm sure literally hot too. I mean, it's Louisiana. Um, who knows? Uh, I've only been to Louisiana like once, so
Really.
but it gets pretty humid. Yeah, that's a separate story for another time.
Fair
But
enough.
pretty funny. Um, Prairie View 46-12, your average score. This is funny. They're 17th on offense and 17th on defense, so pretty consistent. They're in the top 25 of both categories. River Oaks, 42-16, your average score, 28th on offense, 29th on defense. Um, I feel like this could be one of those games that is 50-40, 48-20, 10-2. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, but I think what's on the line, the biggest thing that's on the line is outside of stats. A win for River Oaks could would boost them in the
For
polls.
sure. Yeah.
We're talking top 10, top 15, right?
Yeah.
But a win for Prairie View would add another impressive win along with the Briarfield win. And I think they had 2 quality wins as well with Christ Covenant and somebody else. I can't remember. Um, yeah, they do. It's Christ Covenant and Briarfield, which also ranked win there. So
Yep.
you got 3 good wins on your resume, technically, and you had another one. I mean, we're talking Prairie View has a shot at number one,
We're cooking.
a shot at number one.
There you go. Well,
So
speaking of the top 10 teams and um, my last pick and maybe it's one that regionally has flown onto the radar, but in the ACSE, this is potentially game of the year. Southern Christian and Evangel Christian.
mm,
Southern
yeah,
Christian Patriots, they're 8-0. Evangel's 3-3. Now they do have uh, Evangel does have the 3 losses to
yeah,
Arundel, River Oaks, and oh gosh, oh I feel
freedom.
terrible.
I
Freedom.
think.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
Freedom.
hmm
But here's the thing: Evangel has not lost an ACSC game, a conference game, since October of 2021. So yeah, their win streak ended. Their overall win streak ended. The 39 games, but the conference win streak is still alive and well.
yeah,
Also, Southern Christian has never beaten Evangel. They are
mm,
0-5 against Evangel. Um, they've also here's the thing about Southern Christian though, they've only beaten 2 teams above 500 this year. So yeah,
yeah.
they're 8-0, but they're only 2-0. They've only played 2 over 500 teams.
Who
So
who was it? It was Freedom and
Freedom and
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay.
this was a Jacksonville team that was down a little bit.
Yeah, hmm
Didn't have their starting quarterback. So and they barely got by Freedom.
yeah, just hardly.
Won it
Yeah,
out in overtime. So this is a Southern Christian team. I'm going to be honest here, that is
maybe a
prepped
little bit
to
overrated.
drop out of the top 10. I think right now, sitting right here, right now, they are top 10.
Yeah,
But they lose Friday night, they're going to drop.
Yeah, they're in some trouble.
They're going to drop.
Yeah.
And Evangel, let's see, Evangel right now is at this might be the biggest upset. Because here's the thing, at least Briarfield was like in the 20s, I think, or 30s,
Yeah, they're in
somewhere
the
in there.
40s ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evangel right now is number 76. So if Evangel pulls this off, this is number 76 beating what, number 3?
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild work. Wild
Yeah.
wild work. Talk about some movement. Like almost more movement than from last week with Humphreys and Pack losing. But this is going to be, I think this is going to be a preview of the ACSC championship game,
Yeah.
which you'll be able to watch on Evangel's channel and on 8 Man Extreme Alabama. But this is my game of the week. I think this one has so much riding on it. Maybe not my top game of the week, but it's one of the top 5. There's so much riding on this game. So yeah, I think that's got some big repercussions. It's definitely one I'll be watching Friday night.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So gotta see how
So,
that plays out. So, well, there you go.
yeah.
There's our top. Actually, it ended up being like top 8 games of the week because I think some of ours were similar. And I want to go ahead. It seems like he's ready. So let me go ahead and get our guest on.
Hello.
Joining me now, after I merge this. There we go. All right, joining me now is the head coach of the Faithful Explorers Academic Learning Center Warriors. He is not only the head coach, but he also was a stud at MSU. He's top 10 all-time in career tackles for loss, single-season tackles for loss, single-game tackles for loss, career yards from tackles from loss, and career yards from sacks. Coach Elton Pope.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Was that a decent intro?
Yes, sir, man. I thank you, man. Hey, listen, you you overdid yourself. Thank you. You made me sound like something.
Well, Coach, I mean, to be honest, your team is in its second year. You played for the Mid-South Christian Football League Championship last year. You've got one of the top teams in the conference this year. Obviously, you got the big win last night against Meridian. And then you got the big game coming up this week. I mean, your guys are in a real good spot. But I want to back up a little bit. Obviously, I gave the stats. It was Midwestern State, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to get a little background about yourself in terms of like your coaching history, and then also maybe a little bit about Faithful Explorers for those not familiar with the program and with the school.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, my coaching background, man. I've been coaching Little League football for about 12 years. We started a Byram Junior Bulldogs football league, which was Pee Wee, and we started out with 5 and 6 year olds, and we went all the way up to 11 and 12 year olds. And I used to coach at the Byram Middle School 2 years ago. And then just stepped away from that and focused on my kids because they officially went homeschool. So I just started, just trying to get them a regular high school playing career, man, and just make it regular for them to have fun and whatever we do it in the football in the Christian way. So that's what we just wanted to do. A little hands-on, man. We're still young, not really a big team, but we do have good numbers and we're very fast.
Tell me a little bit more about what do y'all call it? Do y'all call it Faithful Explorers? Do you call it FEALC? What do y'all call it when you're talking about?
Yeah, it's Faithful Warriors.
Faithful Warriors.
Actually,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
See, I was trying to figure out the best way because it's a mouthful. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of saying. Okay, so Faithful Warriors. I love it. That's perfect. Nailed it. Now Did y'all think about calling them the Explorers?
Yes, and you know what? We actually did. So our first year we had teamed up with another team. It was called Phoenix.
Okay.
So our kids our first year played with Phoenix, which they didn't man, it didn't go well. I think we might have won maybe one game. And that was actually with some of the Magnolia coaches also. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
actually, I mean, we know some of Magnolia coaches, Honeycutt and Preston. So we know those, man. We know them well. And so we had teamed up with them, and like I said, it was our first year in, so we just had to do what we had to do, and so we just kind of branched off and did our own thing where we can kind of control what, kind of the message that we wanted to push to our kids. So, man, the first year we played in the championship game, man. It was awesome. Magnolia has a awesome team last year, man, and we
Yeah.
we were fairly young. We returned all our starters back this year, and I think that's what's our key to our success. We've been recruited, and just trying to put it all together and keep it together. We got a young team, so I mean, I'm looking forward. I plan to be here for a couple of years because they're steady growing and getting better.
Now, what's the team makeup of the Faithful Explorers? I know you mentioned homeschool, and then you've got the academic learning center side of it. So, what's the team makeup like?
Yes, sir. Well, man, so we're able to get with Czech. So we did a lot of recruiting from Czech, which is like the homeschool. It's like an association that you can join. And then we have a lot of homeschools in Jackson in the area alone. So we just hit that hard. And we're right by another learning center, Harper's Learning Academy. They're a walking distance from us. So we was able to go over there and recruit, and that's just what we did, man. And it's just, and the good thing is we were able to get some of Magnolia's players. We got like two of those guys that came over. They're seniors, Jaden Mundy and Donaldson. Man, those guys have been great. Kind of helped us with the senior leadership that we needed because we were a fairly young team. And so when those guys came in and contributed, they're the plug and play guys. They're the leader of our teams. They're the voice of our team. They're the heart and soul of our team.
I apologize. I misspoke. You guys didn't beat Meridian yesterday. You beat Sehi. You
Yeah,
got the
yes,
game
sir.
coming up.
We be southeast.
Yeah.
We southeastern. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got the game coming up against Meridian the next 2 weeks. That's what
Yes,
I was
sir.
trying to say. Um, okay, well, let me get back to nuts and bolts. Actually, before I ask that, Blake, my co-host, Blake Biggs, down there, right there in Starkville, has a question for you.
Yes,
Hey,
sir. How
Coach,
you
how are
doing, Blake?
you?
Hey, doing
I'm
good, man. How
good.
you doing?
Good to hear. So one thing I gotta ask. Obviously, you had a fantastic college career. I gotta ask, how has that helped prepare you to be a coach of this football program?
Man, just football is football, and
Yeah.
man, I just try to talk with them, man. Everything not gonna go your way, and man, we got a lot of these guys. Their first year playing, second year, we growing with them. So man, I've always been able to just get in there and make a mesh, camaraderie, everybody together. That's what we preach, man. We preach working together and standing up with each other and playing together. So once we do that, man, I've been in there. I know what it means to actually play, to be a teammate, to be a reliable teammate. And I think that goes a long way where I can just relate to them and have them coaching. And so I can coach them up. They be ready to play. They listen to me. And man, I just like to be able to guide some of these young guys, man, keep them out of trouble, and man, just stay on them. A lot of them are lacking father figures, and I've been blessed to have a father figure in my life. So, man, I just say, man, this is just one of them situations where you step up, and man, it's just it's bigger than football to me.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, and I think it's good too to make that distinct. You talk about how you got guys that have never been able to play, or first year player, second year, whatever. I think it's good to make that distinction because I think you could look at a lot of people look at teams in your situation, maybe even their conference, and they go, "Oh, well, that's just a conference of people they're recruiting the 6A kid from down the street." And it's like, nah, man, listen, I don't think you realize what this team is made up of. Do you guys deal with that at all, or is it a really welcoming environment in terms of getting the kids on your team and getting people to play y'all?
Well, man, it's a welcome environment again. We're going after kids that basketball. They have a Victor's basketball team, baseball team.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those can, and then if you look at Czech, it's a man. They actually have a track and field. They have a track team, man, and it's all for homeschool. So
Wow.
all you gotta do is go out there, man. And I mean, it's kids running, they're relaying, they're fast, and you just gotta recruit them, man. They're right there for you.
Yeah.
By me being in the Jackson, I will say that I have a bigger market. So I mean, I can go to Madison, I can go to Brandon, I can go to Jackson, I can go to Vicksburg. It just is, you can go all around you. So and then by Hillcrest not having a football team this year, that helped out a lot.
For sure.
Because Hillcrest, they no longer had a football team. That was a private school, so now we got some of those guys. And so it helped us grow.
There you go. Now, I want
See,
to
I
talk.
didn't know that about Hillcrest.
Yeah, they no longer have a football team.
So is
I
that
hate
for
to
the
hear that.
foreseeable future, or is that just this year?
Well, it was this year. I know last year they
Okay.
did have one.
Yeah.
Last year
Yeah.
they did have one, but man, this year they folded, and it kind of left a void where the kids were scrambling trying to find somewhere to play, and we just kind of benefited from that.
Yeah, way
Well,
to
and
step up there. That's awesome.
well, and y'all benefited, and those kids benefited from still being able to play.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes, sir.
a win-win there. Um, you mentioned a couple guys earlier on the team and some of the guys that have stepped up, but I want to get you to talk about some of the other leaders on your team, guys that maybe coming back from last year, you were expecting big things and they've performed, or maybe some guys that you didn't know would kind of step up into that leadership role, and this year they've really taken it on, especially with you guys having a 4-1 record, right? 4-1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
4-1.
sir.
Yeah. Who were some of those guys?
Man, I would say Josiah Smith. It's him and his brother. They twin brothers, man. They have been great for us. Quarterback and receiver, just pure athletes. They have been great. Another one is Carter Pope, middle linebacker, outside linebacker. He's been flying around. He's been playing great on defense. I've seen this kid work. I've seen him get better. Last year, he was not this player that he is this year. And I just seen him grow and seen him read, react. He's confident out there. He's flying around and having fun, and it's a joy to watch.
There you go. There you go. How often do you get the Smiths confused?
You say what now?
How often do you get the Smiths confused?
Hey, well, I very. It's often.
Oh man, Blake, I think you had a question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, James, I'm kind of glad you touched on it. 4-1 record so far on the year. Very successful, with the only loss coming at Pine Belt. And y'all just turned around that next game and just punched them right back in the mouth, escaped with a win. Good start to the year, 4-1. Tell us what's been the most successful thing that has helped with the record. Like it could be on the field, off the field. Just highlight some of the stuff that y'all practice, y'all done to lead to this successful season.
Man, special teams. A lot of people focus on offense, and yes, you should focus on offense, and yes, you should focus on defense. But we are able to break the game open with special teams, kickoff and punt returns. Our guys know it, they get it, they want to go and score. And that, man, when we go score quick, and we get into a shootout, you got to match us at that point, because we're trying to go back down there and score quick. And if we get one or two stops and you fall behind, then it's going to be rough on you, because we plan to put up points.
Yeah.
You mentioned Blake mentioned the Pine Belt game. I want to ask you about that. Obviously, you guys played twice. You guys got a big win first time you played. They pulled it off the second time y'all played. How much do you and your guys look forward to potentially seeing them in the postseason?
Man, I got a lot of respect for those guys. Man, I tell you what, I don't want to play them again.
Fair enough.
Hey, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you, they're well coached, man. They play hard. They fly around. They're going to hit you in the mouth. You better be physical. hey, you know what? You don't have to be fast that game because you just better be ready to play and you better be tough and it's gonna be a fight. I've always told my guys that these guys don't lay down, they don't quit. The coaches are motivated. I love the coach. I love his energy. He's the one that brought me into this league, and I appreciate him. And I got nothing but respect for him.
Yeah, Coach Arnett's a great guy. Coach over here saying, listen, if they could get upset, that would be great. If we didn't have to play him again, wouldn't argue with that. Hey, I want to talk to you real quick about the possibility of Florida. I know I've heard a couple things about maybe you guys going down and playing in the tournament a little bit. Do the guys know, or are they excited about it, or kind of how did that come about?
Well, man, Miss Hall, who's over the school, she found it, and man, she's interested. We're interested. We're just trying to see. I don't want to put the horse before the carriage.
For sure. For sure.
So we just want to see where we're at. Again, we got a young team. I know I got maybe 2 18-year-olds on that team. Everybody else is young and growing. So I mean, we're looking forward to it. And I talked with Pine Belt, them guys, man. I'm like, man, y'all need to go because they have a team with size and speed.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're going to be tough, man. And like I said, I'm not looking forward to playing them again. So, well, hey, if it work out that way, it work out that way.
Well, here's the thing about one of your teams going, whether it's y'all or Pine Belt, whoever, one of y'all going down to Florida, and let's say y'all go down and do well. It really reflects well on your conference to say, hey, listen, this is what kind of football we bring to the table, and it really reflects on all the teams in the conference that, hey, we got some football down here in Mississippi. We got some homeschool football.
Definitely. And man, Southeastern Warriors are a great team.
Yeah,
I mean, for them to be like that first year, they are great, very competitive. I hadn't played Meridian yet. It's my first time playing Meridian this Saturday. Looking forward to it. Heard great things out of them. Been watching some tape on them just to get familiar with them. It's just I never like to go in their coaching code. I always like to know what my opponent's doing, and it gives a better hand on it on defense.
That is interesting. I did want to ask you. Of course, you're playing them back to back home and away. How did the scheduling work out? Who did the scheduling, or how does that work out?
Well, man, I'm happy with it because again, the league just started, and so it's like. Man, we only way we're going up from here on. So I just know, man, it's fair, it's fun. I mean, and I don't have any complaints. I understand it's not going to be perfect, so I'm just like, man, as long as we can get the season and the kids can play a full season and we're playing each other twice, that's a win. It's a win, So that's I just love everything about the league.
There you go, Blake. I think you had a question.
Yeah, Coach. If somebody had to ask me where you were from, I'd say Louisiana, just by the accent. Tell us a little bit about your roots, because you're from Vicksburg, ain't you?
Yes, sir. I'm from Vicksburg. Graduated from Warren Central. Won a state championship there. Graduated in '97 there. I went to Hines Community College in '97 through '99. We won back-to-back championships there. So again, I mean, I just come from a program where we always winning, and it's just what it was with us. In Vicksburg, it wasn't a big city. It was just based on football. When I came up, it was, you're gonna play football or you ain't gonna play nothing. And I mean, it's competitive, and I just kind of like that attribute of it. The league here reminds me of kind of like the YMCA. Because it's football. It's very good football, but it's structured.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that about our league, man. All the guys are stand-up guys, man, and all the guys are stand-up coaches. So it's gonna get competitive, yes. But man, and after it's all over, we always mix up in the middle of the field, man. All teams, all coaches, it's nothing but love.
How was that? How was that Saints game?
Man, hey, listen. I did not expect for them to win, but they pulled it.
They did.
They pulled it off.
They did.
I was down here to support Jason Dart, man, but because I seen him at Ole Miss.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Oh no!
Coach, you're talking to a current student at Mississippi State in Blake Biggs.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
listen, I understand. One of my best friends, Fred Smoot, graduated from there. I love Mississippi State.
Okay.
I like local. I just like local players, man. When they come from there, I support
Yeah.
them. I don't care if they from Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I just like to see a kid. And man, they doubted Jason, man, a lot last year. He goes in the first round, man. Now he's starting. He's producing,
Yeah.
and man, I like that for the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, we Coach, just a little background. At the beginning of the show, we actually played a video that came from a bet Blake and I made. So I bleed orange.
Don't play it again, James.
For
Do not,
I'm not going to
do not
play
play
it.
it again.
I will not do that to Coach. Coach seems like a really good guy. I'm not going to put him through that. But I bleed orange, and Blake is a state student and fan. So we had a little bet that if State won, I would go shopping for cowbells, and if Tennessee won, then Blake would have to sing Rocky Top, and record himself singing Rocky Top. So it's funny you bring up Ole Miss and then that side of it, because we just had a little action at the beginning of the show addressing a bet that we had. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, two questions left for you, Coach, and I'll let you get back to what you were doing. When obviously as a player, you had the a lot of games that you played, but as a coach, are you more of a pregame or a postgame meal kind of guy? And then what is the go-to if you have your choice?
Man, I'm a pregame and I do it for the kids, so I know they love Raising Cane's. So I'm gonna stick with the Raising Cane's pregame.
There you go.
And hey, man, everybody be happy.
Hey, listen, it's a pretty. What my mama always taught me: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes,
You
sir.
got 4 wins eating Raising Cane's before the game. I wouldn't change it up. Now, if you guys do get to come to Florida, or go to Florida, because I'm not in Florida, but you better bring. You probably should bring some Raising Cane's. I don't think there's a Raising Cane's in
Yeah.
Florida. You might have to bring some with you.
I'd bring a gallon of that cane sauce, Coach. You can never go wrong with the sauce.
You can never go wrong with the sauce. I promise.
Now, granted, I'm more of a Zaxby's guy, but to be fair.
Hey, that'll work too, though. That'll work. That'll work too.
There you go. Last question for you, Coach. I know you talked about how you with your conference, you guys play everybody twice, and schedule's pretty well structured. But and I know you're fairly new to the world of 8-man and the teams. But if you're putting your schedule together next year and you have a spot that you need to fill, is there anybody that you look out and go, I want to play this team? I want to give you a chance to call your shot.
We're fairly new, so I mean we're open to playing anybody, man. We're not gonna turn down the game. We're open to playing anybody. So I mean just to see where we gauge. I'm working on getting the max prep so I can get us up
Would be
and try
awesome.
to get us. Yes, sir. Try to hope we can get us ranked and keep going. So I'm working on that. I know I had some issues with it. I think it's like an email confirmation or something that I was trying to do. So it was kind of tricky, but I need to get back in there and get that set up.
Blake, we need a Faithful Warriors Mississippi Tornadoes game.
That we do, yeah.
Mississippi Tornadoes right up the road. We need to get a matchup set up between.
Hey,
them.
man, yeah,
Get y'all on the schedule,
we
yeah.
open with that.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
We open to that.
There you go. Well, Coach Pope, I appreciate you coming on and joining us and talking a little Faithful Warriors football. And man, I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all have for the rest of the season. Good luck Saturday night rather with Meridian.
Hey, man, thank you, man, and thanks for
Hey,
the invite.
Coach.
It was a pleasure being on the show, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Hey,
We'll see ya.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, can you still hear me, or did you let it go?
Yeah. You're good. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here.
I was saying, give the listeners who dat.
Who that? Let's go.
There you go. Coach Elton Pope from the Faithful Warriors. Appreciate him hopping on and joining us there. I'd love for them to get that Max Preps up and running, Blake. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Wouldn't have to do the varsity opponent anymore. So, but they got a good team going. They got some. Hey, listen, Magnolia's struggling, but those 4 now Pine Belt's kind of pulled away a little bit, but those 4
Yeah.
it's some good football there in
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah, and their last few games, not outside of Franklin Academy, have been pretty close too.
Right.
So
Yeah. So there you go. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Of course, on the link in our bio, I talked about. You'll find the link for the scoreboard for this upcoming week, and again, we've got that tab for just the games involving the top 25 teams. So you can go check that out. We'll have the rankings. Hopefully, we'll have the rankings put out first thing in the morning. The top 25 rankings, and then the link in the bio will have the complete ranking. How many teams got ranked this week, Blake? Was 160 something?
Just about. I think it was 170.
Man, I got it pulled up. Let me see. 164. So 164 teams have played at least 5 games going into Week 9.
Yeah.
So, which is wild to say Week 9, but anyways.
Yeah, shout out to the guy who does the rankings.
Yeah.
Not really sure who he is, but man, like that's
Boy,
a
you better
fantastic
quit. You better
Excel
quit right
sheet.
now. You better quit. Shout out to Blake Biggs for knocking all the ranking stuff out, man. When you see the rankings tomorrow, a little bit different. Of course, it's October, so we've turned pink. Our logo and the rankings, there's a pink theme to it, so kind of cool there, and changing it up a little bit. But
Hey, real men wear pink.
Real men wear pink. Real men
Yeah.
wear pink. All right, I think that does it. Trying to make sure we got our top 5 for the upcoming week. Check out the rankings. Check out the scoreboard. Blake, am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Well, if I had all my ducks in a row, I'd have all the cables plugged in to be able to do this part right here. That'll do it for Extreme Talk, presented by Cornett Performance. Shoot them on email, cornettperformance@gmail.com. You can hit them up on Instagram @Cornett Performance. It's Eli Cornett hooking you up there. For Blake Biggs, I'm James Shannon. Thank you so much for listening. See ya!